Thing here. We're at the American Flat Track Racing.
Yep. They got us in.
I can't show anything live on the track because
we don't really have a media pass.
They're paying for. It's only kind of foggy.
It's probably.
Maybe it's the lights.
Yeah.
So we're at the American Flat Track right here in Daytona. That track is actually on the outside of the main track, the NASCAR track, and where they'll do also the Baggers Series on Saturday. So we're just here tonight and tomorrow night. We're in the VIP area for the riders and stuff. So we're sitting over here.
Tent.
Yeah, so we're sitting here. We're waiting to find out. At around 9:30, they're going to take us in the field, and then we can kind of figure out what we can film and what we can't. So right now, I haven't filmed a whole lot of racing, a little bit. They had opening ceremonies. I think maybe tomorrow night we might be able to see all that. So we'll see how that all works out.
Film it all.
Yeah. So pretty exciting. If you got any questions, you can ask. I don't have it on where I can't bring the thing up.
The questions up.
Yeah. So,
but if you answer them, we should be able to.
But if you want to come to this, we can meet you here. You can come through the general entrance on the other side of the field. We're on the back side. We come through gate 50. You'll come through on the front side if you come to the general admission. So we can meet you guys here at the flat track. We have access to be able to walk around the grandstands, or if you're up there in Peanut Heaven, up there on the top of the track up there, we can get to you there. So pretty exciting. I guess nobody's asking any questions.
Guess what?
Got 4 people on. Hi, 4 people. Unscheduled.
Yep.
We missed out on the premiere tonight. We had a video came out for last night's highlight. Today we were at Willie's Tropical Chopper. I think I made a big mistake. Big mistake was I told too many people.
It was packed.
Man, I have never, ever seen this many people, that many bikes. They were like 5 and 6 bikes deep, and they finally and this was before noon, they were already turning bikes away that couldn't get in. And you had about this much room to walk. About 2 people could walk between the main aisle and the front, and that was it.
Hey, Robert.
Yep, so Robert's on. Hi, Robert. How's it going?
Slim Jim's always on.
Yep. He's just hanging out waiting for us to go live.
I guess so.
So we're at the American Flat Track tonight. I can't film any of the racing because I think it actually is a pay-per-view. But we can see it on the TV. So we were up at stands for a little while, and then the gentleman from the American Motorcycle Association, he met us and said around 9:30 that they would take us out and let us meet some people that we've been talking to on the internet too that are from the American Flat Track. And they'll kind of tell us what we can get away with. Because I think I don't see a real problem. I just don't think we can do anything live, which we wouldn't do anyway. Well, we could, but we won't. Because we want to be able to invite back. And this track is just really, they said, strict when it comes to video and stuff. Fox is over here. I don't know if this is associated with Fox. Who knows? But
I think Fox has the rights to anything that's done in here, inside Daytona, or the International Speedway, Daytona 500. So I think they have all media rights. So they don't want anybody else filming. So
let me make sure we can.
Kind of neat that we're here and we get to go in and see it. But it'll kind of stink if we don't get to film anything, because that's the whole reason we came.
Well, if we can film after, the idea I figure we could do is we'll be able to film some stuff, the racing and stuff. But when you guys see it, it'll be next week after we get out of here. We'll do a series on the flat track. We got to walk through the pits and stuff. Nobody said down there. She got a bunch of autographs from one of the kids, 17 years old.
2 of them were.
And it's like, holy smokes, I don't know how old you have to be able to race.
I'm assuming you have to have at least your driver's license.
You would think.
Well, that's what Bob kept saying. They look really young. So I said, well, do you mind if I ask how old you are? And he's like, 17. And then one said, he said, I'm 21. I know I don't look it. And I said, well, you'll appreciate that when you get older. So my Piper was on, and I didn't see that last guy. Somebody else is on too.
I'm trying to get up on the other phone.
No, you got to click the thing. There. Oops.
I see some popcorn, some eyes, and a soda.
That's the file.
I don't know why it's not coming up on my phone.
I don't know. Can you guys hear us and see us okay?
I'm going to do it on your phone. This probably has crappy internet again. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're over here at the race. You can kind of hear the bikes going around. So pretty exciting. She's trying to get it up on the live and see if we sound all right, and she'd be able to see the comments too, which would be a lot better. Can you see the comments?
Kind of noisy.
Yeah, because I don't know if I can check the phone. Save highlight, mute microphone, no. I was trying to see if, I'm not sure if our microphone is on.
Looks good, Clint says, but can you hear us okay? When I guess I can hear you. I guess we can hear you talking.
I think the phone's doing it. I don't think we have, I don't think we're using the microphone. So this is where we're sitting at. So the racetrack's over that way. Over that way is the track. Let me turn it down so it's not echoing. So that's like a pit over here. That's Red Bull, KTM. They're right there. And so we're actually in the Mission chips. We're actually in there.
Oh.
I already ate them. You have to open another bag. And there's the racing on the TV. Can't really see it. But they got all kinds of food and stuff here. And the little girl there is really nice. And some people are in here. Look at the chips that they have. They're little motorcycles. I said, ain't we special?
There it says
Racing style.
tortilla chips.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can buy them or not. We'll probably take a bag when we leave. Maybe we'll raffle it off as a prize.
There, you saw the race.
Ah, she's eating the.
Turn around.
She's eating the motorcycle. Nut job. All right, what kind of stuff does the KTM 10 have? Well, it's just it's for the racing crew.
It's like their pit area. So that racing team, that's their pit area. So they work on their bikes. So somebody answer me this question. There's a few different bikes that they had their tires wrapped with heat on them. 174 degrees.
They have like little heat pads on them. They wrap them, but it's a dirt track.
Well, yeah.
I'm still thinking they probably heat them up to make them softer. But I would, dirt. We already had the first race, which this is Class 1. So I'm assuming this is more of the amateur riders that are out here tonight.
I'm behind.
Less experienced. Not whether they would say amateurs. But then tomorrow night is the Class 2, which I'm assuming is going to, well, you should be able to see it on your phone.
I can. It's not coming up. There it is. I'm live.
So she's looking at the comments now. She'll answer some of your comments and stuff.
And spin car.
So we've seen some Yamaha. They have what's that English bike that I seen?
Infield Royal.
Yeah, there's a whole team of them here racing. What else did we see? I don't know. That's Yamaha, and those are the only two that really caught my eye. We filmed all the way down. We got a whole bunch of signed autographs by these young guys. Maybe someday they'll be famous riders, and maybe we'll make a wall in the shop that's dedicated to flat track racing. So it was kind of neat. They were signing autographs, and so she talked to all the little kids.
Yeah.
And
I said you're as old as our grandson.
But when we looked on the other side, we'll probably film it tomorrow. A lot of motorcycles people came here to watch the races tonight. So the main races don't start till 7 o'clock, and then they're supposed to go till like 10 o'clock. So on the other side, the track actually opens like at 3:30, and they start doing positioning races. So you can kind of come and check all that kind of stuff. I will be busy tomorrow doing that. We probably won't get back here till just before 7. But we got bands that we can kind of walk around the pits all the time. So maybe I'll film some stuff later. But we got a bunch of pits, but you won't be able to hear the music because they're playing rock and roll, AC/DC, and all kinds of stuff in the background. There is a lot of girls here that are kind of scantily dressed. I don't know if the phone will turn around fast enough. They're going out the thing now. Let me see if I can zoom in. Whoops. Yep, there we go. So I don't know what those girls did. The girls that were on the thumbnail were actually part of, wrong way.
Oh.
They're part of the AMA. So turn around again. There we are. We're back. Oops, we're crooked.
So we got to hang out with Rat Paint and his wife and Harley One Forever and Twin Cam ZZ.
Yep. So they were all with us. Well, pretty much with her. I was out filming all day, trying to find that perfect thumbnail, and I might have one. I have to wait until we get back and look at it. Trying to find that one and get those 200,000 views again.
Yep.
So, but it was really, really super crowded. A lot of people. We did finally get to talk to Warren Lane, Billy Lane's brother. First guy was the wrong guy we were talking to.
Yeah. I don't know. They just said he was up there, and the guy's like, "I'm going to go talk to him." And I said, "Where is he?" And he's like, "Go right over
He
here."
doesn't really look that much like Billy.
Well, he was standing there, and then Bob's like, "Go get him." It was like I walk over there, and all of a sudden he just takes off like a bee, like he was on a mission. And I'm like, "Warren!" And he stopped, and he turned, and he was like, "Oh yeah."
JoJo told us to talk to you.
What?
Should have said JoJo said to come talk to you.
Well, I guess he would know who JoJo is.
JoJo was. Where did I see JoJo at today? Oh, he was
there
at.
too. I saw his wife. I said, "Is JoJo here?" She's like, "Yeah, he's here somewhere."
He was when I was coming in one time. He was talking to Willie and a couple other guys. So
we didn't see.
I just shook his hand.
I thought we'd see Weems, but we didn't. I didn't see him.
No. So I don't
did get to see Professional Monkey. He walked by too, and Dave's Crazy Trailers and Lone Star Rider. All those guys were there. So there were a lot of YouTubers there.
A lot. So I don't know if, not saying that they are. Some of them are people that's already been there before that we know. Oh, Palmoto was there.
Oh, yeah.
That we already knew had been there last year. But it just seemed like there was a lot of ones that's never been there before. Once again,
Prime Cup Pro was there.
Yep.
Did you see Awesome Documentary?
Yep.
I didn't see him.
He found me first. And we were out in the park, out in the street for a long time talking. Because sometimes you can see better bikes outside. But this year we didn't have...
Nice to pile.
We didn't have as many antique bikes on the outside like we normally do. There was some out there, but not as many as I.
Did you see that one when we left? It was right there on the corner. It was an old beat-up bike. I wonder if Panhead Willie was there, but he usually doesn't
I asked
leave his
around.
bike.
Somebody said nobody said they seen him. I did have one guy that said his bike. I went in and he pulled in. It was an old rusty bike in the show, and I said, "Tell me about your bike." He said it's a POS rusted, and then he told me about the bike. I said,
we might have to bleep a lot of those people out today. There was a lot of them that dropped the F-bomb. I'm like, okay. But I guess they don't know what I'm doing. I just said, tell me your name and a little bit about your
we
bike.
found out, because we stayed all the way to the end to see who won. So you'll actually get to see who won the awards for the bikes. I don't know if I would have picked some of the ones. I think there were some other neat ones that I would have picked, but I may not. Hey, I'm not a judge. But there's also a lot of guys like, well, actually, Rat Fink had a tattoo done, I don't know, a few years back at Willie's. And so he wanted to kind of have it was on his hand, and he kind of wanted it. The guy originally did it, said, come back someday and I'll touch it up and make it look a little better. And so we went in there to ask for the guy, and the guy's in prison. Willie fired him before he went to prison. I don't know what he went to prison for. But they said a lot of the guys watch, whoever was taking video, I didn't see me doing video, I seen pictures, but like they wouldn't let the girls be in the picture with the bike. So they would take a picture with the guy by himself, and those are the pictures that go in the magazine that the guys in prison get to see.
Yeah, but if there's girls in it, they won't let them have them. They send them all back.
So I don't know if it's like an Easy Rider magazine. I don't know who was taking pictures.
I thought they said calendar too, so I don't know if they make a calendar up for the guys in prison.
Because that one girl sitting next to you first and then me she kept moving that rug. That was an attorney. Oh. That rug was.
So Mike Stucker says his friend's son Jake Johnson, number 5, pro rider, is here racing. So that's kind of cool.
So is he tonight or tomorrow night?
Yeah, there's 2
Is he class
classes.
1 or 2?
And what team does he race for? Because these are just like, I guess, race car.
Yeah, because like this one's sponsored next over here. Next to us is Parts Plus, Ford, Jake. Is it Jacob?
Jacob.
I can't see what the fancy writing says. So most of the tents have like some kind of sponsorship on it. And not just like NASCAR and stuff would have. But like I said, that one's Red Bull, KTM, and something else that's on the bottom.
Vintage Thumper says, hello folks, you will be showing any races on this live?
Probably not, because they're doing a pay-per-view, and I don't think we can do that.
I think the Blue Angels are here.
That's the bikes. You can see all the drivers walking by. They just got done with the race. So they're all coming out of the pits because their pits are out here. We're a little distance from the field. It's over there a little ways. I know. A little.
Vintage Summer says, "Hello, folks." Oh no one racing. Hey, Bob and Daryl, glasses on. Hey, Bob and Tam must have turned cool to on you. Yeah, can you tell? I got my shirt, my T-shirt on.
I'm a little
today.
warm, but
I have my sweatshirt on and a jacket. But it's cool on the bike, boy. I'll tell you what.
Well, I think the humidity's dropping at night. Right now it's 70 degrees.
I'm glad I'm not in Iowa. It says it's snowy in Iowa again.
I see a lot of bad weather going north. It's 68 now here. Cooling down. So last night got cool too.
Oh yeah, we got the blanket out. It's cold. What? Yeah, I didn't hear you complaining that I got it out.
I could have done without it.
Yeah, it was still on you this morning when you woke up.
I want my 5 hours of sleep.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
But they got all kinds of neat stuff here. We had Fruity Snaps, and she had cranberries.
Health mix.
And then we got the mission things that look like.
Show everybody that just came on. Look at these chips. I guess it's backwards. That was your race.
She never had any little cars when she was a little girl.
No, I had Barbies.
You gotta run on the little line there.
Oh. I don't know. Can they see that line?
No, they can't. It's only on the phone. But it keeps you level.
He's doing a wheelie.
Here, you can race on the fork or on the knife.
That's all right.
You got a little ramp you can jump.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, she's probably making everybody laugh.
Oh. I don't know. I had a few cars. My dad had a Texaco station. I had that big Texaco truck. It was big enough I could sit on it and ride it around the house. So it wasn't a little car. Yeah, I guess I didn't make cars. I don't know. I just think that's really cool. Because they're mission chips. They're like tortilla chips. You can eat them.
You made it have a flat tire.
I did. Now it's a new tire.
And they weigh the tires and everything here to make sure, I guess, you don't put nothing in them. I've seen that over here by the trailer. So we'll find out more stuff probably tomorrow. We got a lot of things to do tomorrow. We're going to do, I don't know what we're doing. Don't have anything quite early in the morning. Tomorrow's Friday. 1 o'clock, we're going to be over there at Teddy Morris's. They're going to be doing the bikini contest, so we want to check that all out.
We're supposed to be at Peanut and George's tomorrow night.
Why? What's at 9?
Dakota Dave's going to be there. Rapping's
That's in the
be
morning.
There. What?
That's in the morning.
I know, that's what you said. We don't have anything to do in the morning. So, Mark W's on. Glad to see you're eating well. I have not been eating well the last few days. I haven't had 2 pieces of cake. At the Bell's Biker Breakfast, I had 2 donuts.
I only had 1.
You were busy talking. You were busy talking, so I just went over there and got another one. Where's Little Life's on?
We can go to Sam's today.
What?
We can go to Sam's today.
Nope, you have got no grapes. Not any grapes, so I'm going to say nope. Hope to see you at the 120th homecoming. Okay?
We will be there. We have no idea what's going on. As it gets closer, we're going to reach out to the dealers because what we're finding out now, we finally got a marketing guy. Actually, this trip has just been shocking. Shocking because we're having all these people chasing us down. We had somebody from the city that's in charge of Biketoberfest. He actually sat 30 minutes at another table while we were talking to some subscribers. And the moment they let up, he ran over. Bob and Tam. I watch your channel. You guys got great content. I want to talk to you. And he talked for another 30 minutes or an hour. And so he chases down. And then we had the guy from Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. She's dying here.
I am. I went down the wrong way.
And he wants to go to the cat house. Wants us to come out for the spring fling and Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. So we discussed that. That was about a 4-hour conversation that we had. Eating, plus he paid for it, took us out for that. Then we had from the Tennessee Music Revival, that's at Loretta Lynn's, which we went to a couple years ago. He actually wanted us to go last year, and we didn't
Make it.
This time he's called us a bunch of times on the phone, and we've bumped into him, and he really wants us to go there too. Maybe, I don't know. He said he'll put us up. Only has boondocking spots left, which isn't the end of the world as long as we don't bring the dog.
We don't have the dog.
And so
the dog's at our daughter's house now, though.
So it's just crazy that we've had these people that are kind of chasing after us. It seems like there's somebody else. There's somebody else that has come after us.
Harley, the marketing people, and
I guess.
well,
But
Willie
the
said,
Harley
Willie
guy.
said he wants to come out to our house.
Willie from Tropical Tattoo Chopper Show. He wants to come out and check out our shop and everything. Said, come on out. That'd be kind of neat to have him out there. The reason I was talking about this was because of the Harley marketing guy. I finally got to ask. We went over the other day. Well, she did and I did. I went over at Destination Daytona. They've got 120th booth. So a couple people have been asking, are you guys going to go to the entertainment center? And I'm like, all it looks like it's going to be there is concert, Foo Fighters and Green Day. And first of all, I can't film any of that, and we don't have time to really watch concerts. I would love to go see Hairball, but we probably won't get to see them till, I guess, Sturgis probably, because they don't go to any of the next two rallies. They're not in Panama City.
Oh, weren't they at Suckling Bowl last year?
I don't know. So
I thought they were.
I don't know. We didn't make Confederate Railroad either. Just way too much stuff. And we got a lot of content that we're going to be showing you guys
There's ZZ Twin Cam. I hung out with him today too.
Yep. So had a lot of YouTubers here this time. Well, you'll be seeing more shout outs from them.
Paul Simone, hey, I haven't seen you on in a while either. Unless you're just listening. And
let you guys hear other YouTubers that we kind of see all the time at the rallies and stuff. Some we only see here in Daytona, some we see at other, Sturgis, stuff like that. Because not everybody hits all the rallies. We did see a couple. I forget what that guy is. He's got a pretty good sized channel too. He's the guy that always has looks like a racing shirt and he's got names on it.
Cycle drag or drag cycle, one of them.
I don't think it was drag cycle. He put a video up today and he was never in it. That guy usually always starts it with him in the. He talks a lot too in the videos.
He does a lot of shorts and reels.
Yeah. So I don't know. We seen him. We just kind of bump fist. We seen the Monkey Man today, and I did get to go Florida Man. And of course, what did he do? Flip me off. He didn't hang around at all. Didn't bring his bike out. I don't know what happened. He was supposed to be in that bike show yesterday. He said he got first. I only seen his short this morning. Said he got. I think it was a short. Maybe it was a video, and it just said he got first place. Maybe I didn't watch the video at all. And so I thought he was going to bring it to the show today. And whatever time, he didn't get there till like noon or 1. So he was there just a short time and never seen him again. And I think he was supposed to be there with Cycle Source. And they're 10. I've never seen him in there either. I walked by a lot of times, but
it was packed. I mean, he could have. I just happened to see him walk through the crowd.
I seen him coming in. I was out because I ended up staying out on the street a lot because it was so crowded. I couldn't really get a lot of really good shots of the bikes that were there. So because by the time we got there at 10 o'clock, so we tried to get down here and get our passes and stuff. Ended up not getting what I wanted. I wanted media passes where we could hang around our neck. I think I'm going to start hanging those up. I got a bunch of them we've had for the last couple of years, and have a wall with those hanging on it. Thought that'd be kind of neat, showing you all the places that we get into. So here we ain't got nothing to hang up, but we're going to ask him if we can get something that I can put on the wall. That'd be special.
Get an American flat track poster or something.
I don't know. I'd like to get the media, some kind of badge is what I'd like to have.
We probably should have checked all them boxes. If you would have checked all the ones on the top, it just checked everything. And then I just did for this because I didn't know. Because
we're not sure what we can do, but there is another guy walking around here. He's got a camera. He's got a GoPro. He's doing some stuff. I don't know what he's filming. He was filming the food a minute ago and talking about it. What?
My knee.
But you just was rubbing your boob on my arm.
No, sorry. I was. No.
I didn't know what you were doing. So, pretty exciting. A lot of stuff. The weather's actually been really good. It looked clear like rain yesterday. It's supposed to maybe rain tonight or tomorrow, but I mean, it looks fine. It's clouded up here, but when I looked at the weather, it showed all the rain was up north. A lot of you up north getting snow and rain, so I don't think we're getting much of it.
Somebody crash and burn?
No, they're still going around the track. I was looking at the TV over here. So a bunch of people, these people at this table over here, never left it. They can just sit here watching. Well, you got a better view here than sitting out on the track, but you're not paying for it. So I guess it's the excitement of being here, but not. It's kind of like a hospitality tent. You know, or a lot of times, like you get those stadium seats, you're so freaking far away, you might as well watch the TV because you can see more than what you're going to see from way up in peanut heaven for that $10,000. So there's a tent here. This is put on by Missions Chips. They're the sponsor tonight, and they also Progressive. They're part of Progressive Insurance is doing the American Flat
All
Track.
the new guys that just came on. You got 53 people on. Oh, that's a race car. I want the motorcycle.
That was crooked. You got a crooked bike.
Those are the chips. They're little motorcycles. Wow.
She just wants to play with the chips.
I just think they're cool. I mean, who would have thought they would have done that? I don't know. I guess if you're going to sponsor somebody, you got to make it worth your while.
They got big bags of chips over here you can take.
Yeah, but you have some cool chips. That's right. And there's a whole thing over there, so you can grab some, take it off. They're on all of the tables. You could probably take as many as you want at home, but they'll probably go stale. We could grab some and have a giveaway and give them to you guys.
And then when we ship them to them, they'll all be crushed and they'll just be...
Well, maybe we can give them away like in Leesburg or Panama City or Myrtle Beach. So it won't be too far away. Scotland's on. He said porch, punch and John. I don't know. Jamie O's on. Punch. Oh, Punch and John. Is that who I was watching? There's a bug crawling on my... Oh, I just squished him.
Wasn't that disgusting?
Yes.
That was
It's on my glass case. Okay.
So how many people we got on for, is it Thursday night?
55.
55 on a Thursday night. Don't forget to watch the video tonight. Shows you all the highlights. This race is over now. Yay! One more down. I think we've done about 4 races.
What time is it? We're supposed to meet him at what time? 9?
9:15. It's only 8:30.
Oh, okay.
But it could be behind because the first race probably took an hour.
Because every time they started going around
One
the
lap
track,
they had a
somebody
wreck.
crashed.
One lap had a wreck. Not a wreck, they just slid.
Yeah, nobody got hurt, yeah.
Because this track's totally different from anything else because it's kind of like an after part where a lot of tracks like in Atlanta, they got dirt, not sand in the, in the ground.
As soon as the rally's over, we will, Scott. He wants us to send the warm weather up his way. I don't want to jinx anything yet until the rally's over. We still got a couple more days, but Friday and Saturday, 2 more days. 2 more days, Saturday or Sunday, I'll ship it up your way. How's that sound? Betty Mark says, bye, have to shovel. He says, be careful, don't hurt your back. Mark W says, give a big thumbs up, people. And it's on my side, I think, right here. Hit the little thumb. Scott Lynn's laughing. We gotta keep it nice down here because we like to ride the bike because it's much easier to get around and park and everything else. Because if
No
you're
trouble
in
with
a
the bike. I
vehicle-
really need to get it over there so they can adjust my chain.
Chain.
Then I put this.
Well, if we go over tomorrow, if they're not busy, you can drop it off when we do the bikini thing if they can get it done in that time.
It didn't take very long. So we'll see.
Do they have to take
Pull
the
that cover
primary off and
take
do
the
all
cover
of
off.
that?
I'm gonna look at maybe I was gonna look and see
Casey's
if JMP. Let me look at JMP. I don't know if they sell an aftermarket adjuster or not.
Hello, Eli sent me. Okay, Joe, thanks. I think you've been on our channel before. Is Eli Mexi Philly? Is that the Eli you're talking about?
Who's Frankie from BPT?
That's the guy that wanted to take us to dinner to the fancy restaurant and had to leave.
It was great talking to you. Thank you. Please keep doing what you do and Bob do. I would love to take you guys to dinner next year, God willing. I will reach out.
Now he's got our number, so he'll know.
He came up to us today at Willie's and said, "Oh, I really wanted to take you guys out to eat, but tonight I'm leaving." And
well, he's flying to, or driving to Orlando and flying out from there to go back to Connecticut.
no,
So
bigger airport. So let's look up J and P.
Bob, are you going to try the new 135 Harley?
They don't have one you can ride yet. They have the 120.
What's the one he
120.
wants you to ride?
120.
No.
120, the new Road King
The CVO
CVO.
one? Oh, did you put that one on, that trike I said on? They have a road glide trike, and this paint job is
No, I
beautiful.
didn't get to that.
And it's, oh my gosh. And when we're like, can you buy that bike? They're like, oh no, that's a protocol. And it's like, man, why did you bring it? I tease people. Carl Ella says, I like the half mile better. So I don't know, how far do they go on this? They only
I
go
don't know, I
around
think-
like 2 or 3 times.
I think it's one time they went around 4 times.
So I don't know. This is really the first motorcycle race I've ever been to. Have you ever been to a motorcycle race before?
Yeah, well, Loretta Lynn's had similar to this.
Well, I guess.
But I didn't know what flat track was. I was thinking flat track was like the street bikes on the asphalt track. That's what I was thinking, flat track. But I guess what they
It
do,
wasn't flat,
I think
because
what
it
they're
still got
saying
the
is enduro. Like enduro, like they had the enduro, the BMX, all that racing was done on last Saturday, Sunday, Friday, whatever day it was, that you jump in the hills and all that. So I think that's why they call that's kind of like motocross. It's almost like this, but you're on a flat track, and I think that's why they call it flat track. That's my thought now. That the other one you're jumping hills and you go around a circle too and you're jumping.
I
Well
know,
here
that's motocross.
now, but those are pretty much the same bikes.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
now
all dirt
we're on a
bikes.
flat track going around in a circle.
Well, that's what I kept saying. When you kept saying they were going to do it out there, I'm like, that's not flat though. It's because it's got banks. Anyway, Jamie O says, bikini thing, tell us more. That's going to be at Teddy Morris. So if you're out here, you go to Destination Daytona, Teddy Morris, Harley Davidson, and at 1 o'clock they're having a bikini contest. Joe Casey says, I'm a subscriber. Hope to meet you in Myrtle. Okay, Joe. Do we have your number? I don't know. I'd have to look. I don't know what phone. It's that phone.
Yeah.
I'd have to look.
They must not sell an aftermarket chain tensioner.
Scott Lynn, do you trust motorcycle vendors? It really seems convenient to drop your bike off at a vendor for work. The Harley dealer seems like you have to wait a week or 2 to get your bike back. That's one reason he likes the rallies, because then you don't have to rely on a Harley dealership or your local motorcycle shop. And a lot of these vendors, if you take it to it, they're a specialist in whatever you're taking it to, and they usually can get you in and get you out, especially if you call ahead and make an appointment.
What we do is we have a handful of dealers that we highly recommend. They're actually all the people we recommend. We actually guarantee the work. So if you have a problem with it, you're at a rally, you have a problem with it, and something goes wrong, you've called them, they tell you to go F off, you can call us, and then what we do is we call them and see what's going on. You know, there is sometimes it could be you cause some kind of issue. You know, a lot of times what happens is people have lights and stuff put on their bike. Next thing you know, you go to Harley Davidson, they go to pull your fairing off, and they can't get it off, and they just start cutting the wires because they know they're not wires that they have to deal with. So that's the problem when you do a lot of aftermarket lighting, stereos, that kind of thing. You want to make sure somebody that's doing it is doing everything properly. And we recommend this because what you have to do is, like, if you get a new amp or something like that put in, you got to make sure that they roll the wires all up, they zip tie it all, so everything's nice, so you can take the fairing off just like you would any other time. That way they're not going to yank on those wires, just like your saddlebags. One of the vendors I talked to the other day, I was looking at their displays, and I'm like, where's your disconnects at? And they're like, well, they're under the seat. So I'm like, okay, if I want to take my saddlebags off, I got to take the freaking seat off? That seemed like a real pain in the ass, because like us, when we have the golf cart, I take the saddlebags off all the time, because if the golf cart would come loose, because it's only strapped down, and if it bounced over or something, the first thing it's going to hit is the bags. The crash guards are going to protect the front of the bike, my fairing and stuff, but in the back, it could bounce over and hit the bags and crack them or damage them, so we pull them off. So I've already got my CVO wires that do the power locks and stuff, but when I looked at theirs, all the wiring went up, and I'm like, what happens if somebody wants, because you take your bike into the shop, they need to take your bags off for changing your shocks, working on your tires, doing the belt, anything like that, they need to pull them off. Well, if it's a pain in the ass, that's what they're going to do. Snip, 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 and then next thing you know, those extra lights you had put on now don't work. Now you call up whoever put them on and say, hey, I'm not happy, that's not working right. Then you find out it went to the Harley dealer and they snipped it.
Mike says exactly, Bob. Russell says they have the 135 blockhead. He wrote it. So I don't know. Do they have it down here in Daytona? Because you asked the guy and they said no, didn't you? Or did you just ask the guys where the motor was?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I filmed the motor.
Okay. So Edward says, Eli says, hi. Hi, Eli.
If it's there, I'll ride it.
And then Joe Casey says, do you live? They live you did on Maine was excellent. Oh, the live you did on Maine was excellent. Sorry, I can't read. So thanks. That's good. We haven't been back. Mike says, hi, Bob and Tam. Eli sent me and said you're good people. Well, thanks, Mike. And welcome to
So, Mexi Philly, Eli?
Teen Nation. I'm assuming so.
So, yeah, we try to do a good job, and what we try to do is give you good information. That's what we're all about, is going to the rallies, find you good vendors. And if you're looking to buy something, we'll give you a heads up of who we recommend. And some of them sell different products. You can get the Rockford Fosgate, which is what we have. Plenty of people sell that. If you want the Hog Tunes and you want their next step up, like the Monkey Man got, you can contact us. We have a vendor that takes care of that. So we have a lot of a variety, just like handlebars. I've got the
Fat baggers.
Yeah, fat bagger bars. We also have plenty of dealers that we know that sell the KSTs if you want those. So there's a lot of variants that you might want. You might want to know why I got these handlebars over something else. So, there's pros and cons. I'm not now there's some products I talk about. The Love Jugs, I love them. They do a great job. For somebody that lives in Arizona where it's 120 freaking degrees in the summertime, big difference. But it depends on what you want. So all different things that some channels will tell you need to put this muffler on, you need to do this, you need to do that to your bike. Nobody can tell you what you want on your bike until you decide what do you want on your bike. Because do you like exhaust, slip-ons, mufflers, whatever you want to call them, they all sound a little different. The ones I have on my bike, I'm more interested in the tone than I am for performance-wise. Like when we get a dyno, both dyno places, the one out in Kingman and also Speeds, they say the same thing. They're not easy to tune because they're not free-flowing. And I'm okay with that because we're not racing our bike. We don't have a 135 on our motor. I'll probably never get a 135. Probably, might got a 128 someday, but the only reason because I'd want to move up from the 110 if we had trouble with the engine. Unless Harley's going to give me that 120 that they want me to ride. They're like, you won't believe it. I say, yeah, you give me 30 grand for mine and trade, maybe I'll consider it. Other than that, no. And I probably want more than that.
The guy kept talking to me about it, and I said, you're going to get in trouble because I already told you, he said this was his last bike.
I don't know if I'd like a Road King or not. I've rode a Road King. This is that's why I think he wanted me to ride it, because he was asking different questions, and I said, well, in Sturgis, it was in Myrtle Beach, I rode a Indian. And, it wasn't great. You took it down to the water or wherever the hell we went to, some bay or something you rode down to. Rode on your own. It wasn't really a twisty road. But, it felt like the Indian was more balanced than what a Harley is. Harley is top heavy, and that's why so many people drop them. I don't really see that many people dropping an Indian, but the Indian felt so much lighter, and then when I was looking at the specs, there really wasn't that much difference in the weight. So what I wanted to do, and the Sturgis Harley-Davidson said they would do it, is give me a brand new bike and let me ride it through Spearfish Canyon and up Von Knocker Road, and I could really do some riding on it. Not saying I would ever own an Indian, nothing wrong with them, but I would really like to give you what my experience of riding it is, because I really didn't get into getting into twisty roads till I got a Harley. We used to live in Illinois, we really didn't have twisty roads. You get a few banks and stuff, but nothing like what you have in Sturgis. So I never really got into that until I got into California and started riding like Mulholland Drive and stuff. And it was like, wow, I really like these roads. and up along the PCH, there's some up there and stuff. And then we start going out to Laughlin River Run that we always had for years. Did it for about 15 years in a row. Out in Oatman, we have a road called the Sidewinder. I rode that every year for 17 years. And I've rode a lot more now since we're real close to it. But it's a great windy little road, and it's more fun when she's not on the bike, because she freaks out and starts squeezing me when I start dipping down there. And
I crashed and burned. I don't want to do that again.
And so I've never...
So we got some things. So Zardamus said,
I'm going to get something to drink. You want something else to drink?
Motocross.
Want some more water in your cup?
If you can find water, they don't believe in water. I don't know. See if they got one of them stupid things. So Zarmoda says motocross they use dirt bikes, and American Flat Track they use Harley Triumphs and other street style bikes. I don't know. To me, they look like dirt bikes. I don't know. I mean, there was the Royal Enfield down there, and then these are KTM. But I had a friend that had a KTM, and it was more kind of like a dirt bike. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know. So that might be the difference. Like I said, I've never been to a motorcycle race before, so I don't really know what the difference is.
Look, I get special attention tonight.
Well, how did you get that? I asked for water,
I know how to do it.
and they told me to cough. So Russell said yes in Daytona.
Yes, in Daytona for what?
That's where he rode the 131, 135.
All right, I will go over there tomorrow. We're not super busy tomorrow. They want me to ride the one, because actually they want to give me the 120. I can have it all day. They said, I'll put you on it. Go wherever you want to go on it.
So Mike says they better know what they're doing cutting into my factory harness. Yeah, I know.
Well, they don't cut into your factory harness. What I'm saying is, if you take your let's say you have a bunch of stuff done to your
Mike
bike.
says he's got a 131. Mike.
If you want to do a bunch of stuff on your bike, like let's say you're going to put a bunch of lights on it, you're going to put the lights that's in your, I'm saying you got a touring bike. You put the lights up in the fairing and all that kind of stuff. When Harley goes to pull it off, they're not going to cut their wiring. They're going to cut the aftermarket stuff because they're not trained to any of that. So when they pull it out, they see that it's a thinner wire, it's not part of the wiring harness. Wiring harnesses are really, it's easy to tell what is aftermarket parts and what's wiring harness. Same thing on an automobile. When people splice, like I did, I ran all new, I got a rack on the back of the bike, on the back of the truck. It's all lit up. It's for if you want to protect my back window, we can now leave the slider open when Charlie's in there, and nobody can get in there to him and or climb in and steal something. And then it's also got some extra lights in the top, brake lights. Mainly, I got that. We have a Wii Boost that we use when we're traveling to get better internet signal. What?
We never put that up on the trailer either.
I know, but so far we've had pretty good internet everywhere. When we get to where's the next stop? It's Orlando. What's the internet in Orlando? So he'll need the antenna then.
So Bob says you can recommend people to build you a barn. And Joe Casey says he's a Vance and Hines fan. Rod's in the house. Rodzilla joining the crew. They have we ridden the Everglades yet? Oh, I guess, have ridden the Everglades, the Keys, West Palm Beach party, and the Hoffman's German pub at the Benson Beach is awesome. And he's at Sebring Racetrack now. How far away is that? What kind of races are
What
they
are they
having?
doing at the Sebring? Something I looked at the other day. Oh, it's NASCAR. NASCAR is at this Sebring. I think that's the next race. Is it this weekend they just had it? That's what it's today. Oh, I guess it's coming up this weekend. I think they've got some kind of either trucks or something's going on. When I was looking at who did we see the other day? Busch.
Oh, Kurt Busch. Not Kyle, Kurt.
We got Kurt Busch on video. Who's bringing you some of the hottest people in racing and motorcycle
Wait
industry?
till you see who we got at Sons of Speed. Who's the NASCAR driver?
Well, we already been talking about him.
Casey said, what was your first Harley Davidson? Steven said, Road King is great, but I have Electro Glide Revival. He's got the new one.
So my very first Harley, well, I've rode a lot of Harleys up to that point. We used to come to California, and that's when we started finding out. The only other Harley I rode before was our daughter's boyfriend had an 883 Sportster. And I rode that, he had to put it, his parents made him put it in the shed. So when he was dating my daughter, I said, you can put it in our garage as long as I can ride it. So we took it out a couple times. The seat wasn't very big. She wasn't real happy with riding on it. I think we rode it 2 or 3 times. And it was okay. It was an 883. We just kind of rode around town on it. Didn't go real far. Well, then we used to come to California. I got these deals, which I don't know where I got them at back then. But you could get a whole week and pick it up on Friday night, drop it off on Sunday late afternoon, and it only cost you $99.
At Bartels.
Yeah. And I don't know where I got the coupons from. I don't know. And but I had a bunch of them. And we went up there and we'd always rent a Harley. And first one we'd ever rented was like just a classic Harley. We got a picture of her on it. We were up on Mulholland Drive looking over at the ocean, and a great cliff shot of her sitting on the bike. And so
that was before I rode.
yeah.
I was pretending.
And so that was a green one, wasn't it, that we had?
don't
Or was
think
it
it
blue?
was blue.
Maybe it was blue. And so that was the first Harley that I actually had ever really rode. I never went to. We never really had like when we lived in Illinois most of our life, and actually where I bought my first Honda in Missouri when I was 14 years old. I got a '74 Honda 100 XL. The Honda dealer actually was a Harley dealer too. It was Burbus Valley Harley Davidson Honda dealer. They're not there anymore. I went by there last time I was there. And
They had just closed up like a couple weeks before we got down there.
I missed it. But so I'd kind of seen Harleys then. I think that was kind of during the AMF time, and they look kind of cheap looking. Well, I'd rather have a Honda than an AMF. We've seen some AMFs today. But so never really rode a Harley. So my first Harley that I bought, now I looked, once we started renting them, when we moved to California, which was, what year?
We moved to
California.
2002.
2002, we started looking for Harleys. I'd go into different shops and I'd kind of look at them and price them. And one guy in California has a aftermarket shop. He buys Harleys, I guess, at the auction or from people and resells them. And I found one there because somebody said they were really good. They sold them at a reasonable price, but they wouldn't give me any credit. And so I never bought one there. I tried once at a dealership. They wouldn't give me credit, which was really shocking. So we're actually out in Las Vegas in what year?
2007.
2007. We're in Las Vegas, and we actually go to, which used to be the Harley dealer on the Strip, used to be on Eastern. And that was a big shop. That was the best place to get t-shirts. They had a big shop. That was a great dealership. I really liked that. But it was kind of not a great neighborhood. So we went in there all the time, and we bought Harley shirts and stuff, clothing and stuff. They had great deals. And so one day they had this bike. I look at the bikes all the time. Look at the price tags and all that kind of stuff. And they had this. It was a green 01 Classic. Must be an important race. They're all yelling. They got the red checkered flag.
Was this the red checkered flag?
Yeah. That was weird. So we went in there and I said, oh, they probably want way too much for this bike. And it was $13,995. And they said, well, we just lowered it just this morning. It was like
It was $12,995.
$12,995. They just lowered it from $15,995. I said, oh, it's probably got 1 million miles turned on. It had 12,000 miles. I'm like, well, that's not bad. They'll never give me credit. They gave me credit. So I think we bought it. Was it on a Sunday? Because the second one was the one we had all the trouble. No, I guess it's the first one. It had to be the first one. So what we did is we must have came in on Friday, and I seen it.
It must have been a holiday. It must have been like President's Day or something,
because they were open though. It wouldn't have been the day they were closed. We must have gone out there on a Friday for something. And so we must have went to the Harley dealer. Maybe we were out there for a couple of days. Who knows? We had a condo out there for a while. So we went to the dealer, and I said, well, we're staying at a hotel. I don't really want to take the bike and leave it outside. Is there any chance you guys can leave it here, and then we'll come back and get it tomorrow morning, and we can take it out for a ride and do Red Rock and all different things? And they're like, sure, that's no problem. Just you'll have to come back before 5 o'clock before service closes, so you can put it back in the garage. And we're like, okay. Next morning, get on the bike. I jump on it. We're riding a little bit. I look down, speedometer's not working. I'm like, holy crap! How many freaking miles does this bike really have on it? So we called them and told them, hey, the speedometer's not working. They said, well, you can bring it back. We should be able to fix it pretty quickly. And we're like, oh, well, we'll just do the ride today, and we'll come back and we'll drop it off, because they're open on Sunday too. So we dropped it off early, like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and they said, we'll get it taken care of for you. So we called back right before 5 o'clock, and they said, oh, we have to go to one of our other dealers to get the part. So it'll be done first thing Sunday morning. And we're like, okay, because we are leaving. We have to leave by noon on Sunday, because I'm driving it home and she's following me. So we get a call first thing in the morning, and they're like, we didn't get the part. Hello? So finally they did get the part, and it must have been right before noon, and got it fixed, and I rode it home. Well, then as I was taking it home, it was making like a backfire noise when I let up off the gas, and the header pipe had a crack in it. Well, I bought the extended warranty, and that was part of the problem too that we found out later on, because the bike broke one day after we bought it, and the warranty hadn't been registered yet. That was what the problem was, getting
the bike fixed.
Getting the speedometer fixed the first time, which we didn't know that yet. So we get back to our Harley dealer in our town, and it's making that noise. So I took it to the dealer and I said, hey, I just got this bike. It's making a weird noise. I have extended warranty, and I handed it to them. And they said, okay, bring it in. Let us see what it is. They said, oh, the header pipe's bad on it. We'll have to order one in for your bike, and it'll take about 3 to 5 days. We should have it. Put it on real quick. And I'm like, okay. So 3 or 5 days go by. I call up, and they're like, oh, no, we're not done to it yet. It'll be in the next day or two. Call back again, still not getting done. So I go back down to the dealership and say, what the hell's going on? And so they finally got it done after about 3 weeks. They finally got it done. I'm like, what is the problem? Well, the problem was because of the first repair, the warranty company was now looking at the bike saying, did the dealer check it out? Because you're really not supposed to use the warranty within the first 30 days of your warranty, which I don't know if anybody knows that. Typically you shouldn't, because the dealer's supposed to check the bike out. You know, they got the 200 point checkup that they're supposed to be looking at. So I don't know. I don't know if the Harley dealer in Las Vegas, they didn't do anything. At that time, we didn't know who they were. We didn't deal with it. Might not even been the same owner that's back then that's there today. Probably isn't. And
Lynn Scott said, not as many Indian dealers as Harley. A lot of them I feel more comfortable owning a Harley. Rod said the chief cooking at Sebring Racetrack Hotel. So maybe he's not at the racetrack, he's at the racetrack hotel. It's awesome. Hotel's a very good value. Scott Lynn says, you got a creeper behind you. I don't know who that was.
Chicken bone guy.
No. Rusty Wood says the bikes at the Speedway are Harley displays. Mike says, where are you guys from? Originally from St. Louis, and we lived in Missouri for a bit, California, and now
Arizona
and Arizona. Rod says, Russell, check out that. Thanks. Mike says, nice. Cool story, Bob. Mike Syndrome says, Harleys impede traffic on twisty roads.
What does Harley does?
Harley impedes, I-M-P-E-D, traffic on twisty roads. So that means they're better on twisty roads? I don't know. Blockhead wrote it. Don't know if it's available to the public. That's the one he wrote, I guess.
But I don't think he wrote it. See, some of these YouTubers that are bigger, it's very possible when we talk to this marketing guy, because he gave us his phone number, she's got his phone number now, we can call him, and he really wants to sit down and talk to us some more. And because I'm always Larry, I don't really want a sponsorship from Harley Davidson, even if they offer me stupid money, I probably would take it. But I really don't want anything that big, because I don't want anything like that, because I don't want somebody to say I can't talk to Indian, I can't ride an Indian, I can't do this. And we're probably always going to own a Harley. I don't know if I'll ever buy an Indian. I don't really have any ambition to. I don't really have ambition to buy any other bike. I'd like to have a 1200 Sportster. I had a lot of fun when she had hers. It was a really great bike to ride around, great bike to split lanes with in California. It was fast, it was quick, it was easy to move around. It would be great to have at the rally. So we could get on that little guy and we could zip around all these places and get in and out, and it's so much lighter and all that. So I wouldn't mind getting something small, but I'd like to get the old 1200 Sportster. I don't want what they have now. I don't really care for the Sportster S. I didn't like it. It was very uncomfortable for us. It was more probably a yuppie bike or a what do they call those, millenniums? More of a bike for them, which may be a millennium. Might be better for you. I got a bad back, so I can't bend over like that all the time.
Mike Seymour says 450cc single class motocross bikes that have been lowered and shorter to travel suspension. Mike says, slow down
Comes the girls
and
back
enjoy
in.
the bike.
Oh, look, it's the girls coming back in. Maybe Tam can go over there and talk to them, see who they are. I think you can't answer your comments, and then you can go over there and talk to them girls, see who they are.
They had a 750cc twin factory class. They also have hooligan class. Rod says, FYI, staying at the Keys Largo, Gilbert's Resort, awesome little pricey place. Are they just standing right there?
They're walking.
Oh, I don't
I don't know
know.
where they're going. Brad's go get them. I don't know where they're going.
Hey.
Chase them down before they run away. Find out who they are. So she'll get them on, and she'll come back and tell me who they are. And Pawamoto he's got these girls that, he's another YouTuber. He's on our channel a lot. He's over at, he's filming the burnouts that they're having over at the Iron Horse. We're going to do some trading on video, which is great. And I wouldn't mind doing that with other YouTubers. If you got some good footage, I've got a Dropbox. If you pay for a Dropbox, only $12 a month, $12.50 or something for a Dropbox. And you can't send a bunch of it. You can't send like an hour-long video. You can send clips in it. And I don't mind sharing stuff with people. If you got something good that I could use, I don't mind trading with you if you got something decent. Now, I'm not going to necessarily give you our personal interviews, but I don't know, maybe I would, just depending on what it is, or if you had something good, worthwhile. Palmoto's got a bunch of girl stuff he wants to give us that he filmed and stuff that would be good for Patreon. We're probably going to not change our channel, but class it up a little bit. We're still going to show you some of the girls, but the girls with the pasties and all that kind of stuff on, we're not going to show that anymore. That's going to be on Patreon now. And the reason is because we are kind of talking to a few people about sponsorships, but we're looking for sponsorships that's not going to control what I do. But I don't want them to think that we're a porn site or we're just chasing girls all over the place. So, but a couple of people we've already talked to has said that maybe they'd be interested.
They work for Lindsay, whoever Lindsay is, but they're going in that trailer.
They talked to you?
Yeah.
Got them on camera?
Said, no, I didn't. Oh. They said when they come back out, they would. Oh. But it's all air conditioned in there. That Cameron's in there too. I probably could have went in there.
When they opened the door, you said, "Hey, Cameron," and then you would have went in there. We know people. We now know people that know people, which now we know the people that they know people. If you got that. So what we were talking about that is we're looking to maybe have people, and hey, I just told one of the other YouTube channels, I said I'd even do that with you. So for a set price, we would actually just say, this video is now sponsored by, whoever it was, Mission Chips is sponsoring our video today. And then right in the middle, we might say, hey, they got great chips. They even got ones that look like motorcycles. And that'd be it. Then we go on with our video. And we wouldn't do a long commercial or nothing in the middle. But if they were paying for that, we could end up getting rid of the commercials that are in our channel. So you would only get that one video, or the video would only have that one little commercial in it that we just say 10 or 15 seconds that, hey, we sponsor this, just using for an example. Progressive Insurance is sponsoring us today. Make sure you call Progressive Insurance for all your motorcycle and RV needs. Great prices. Call Flo or whatever the deal is.
Call today.
Yeah. So, and here's the phone number. And so that would be easy. And then if they're paying us, then we can still do our videos. So we're looking for, so we've got a few people that are very interested in what we're doing. We just haven't ironed it all out yet. But I don't want to, some of the big companies, like for instance Progressive, you can't show girls in bikinis if Progressive is sponsoring your video.
But we do have a Patreon page.
Which I just said that. I said pretty much the girls that we've been filming with pasties and stuff are not going to come on here. Girls got a top on, like a swimming top. I don't have a problem with that. And I don't think YouTube does either. And most people aren't going to have a problem. But we don't want to get, we have done in the past, showed the wet tees, showed the slaw wrestling, all that. All that is going to Patreon. We might show a clip of it, but you're not going to see anything on here. And the reason, once again, we're just trying to take our channel to the next level that really, and we got some really great things going to be coming up. We've got ways that we're going to be giving away Amazon cash cards. Not really cash, but I guess it's cash, but you get gift card. And we're going to play some games. And if we do that, and everybody does what they're saying, our videos will go viral anyway. So we won't necessarily need the clickbait. Clickbait is actually when you have a picture on the front. Like let's say we put something like, well, one of the examples was that I seen one time is this guy put on there, see hot naked chicks. And he had a picture of a girl on his thumbnail. Well, at the end of the video, what did you see? Little baby chicks from a chicken that were running around in a court. Yeah. So they were hot, they were chicks, and they didn't have any clothes on, the little baby chickens running around. So it wasn't.
It was clickbait, but he did deliver what he said.
That's right.
It was just what you were
Because I have
thinking.
sometimes somebody said that a couple times on my video, oh, that's clickbait. Every girl or anything that I put on the video is a clip that I've taken from the video. Now we got the logo we're using for the rally here. Yes, that's not in the video, but it's all over everything else here. But it's just to show people when they're thumbing through, hey, they got the logo. They must have something going on. Because not everybody, most people don't read titles. They're looking at the thumbnails. Like today, the video was, we put both of our picture on there. That picture came from the frame. The frame. Now some people, which we did for a while, we don't never think about it. The Monkey Man, some of these other people, a lot of YouTubers do this. They do poses like, or different poses that they do to where they're pointing at something and then you put the writing up there. We do that every now and then, but most of the time, since we're doing videos daily, I don't know because we have so much freaking footage every night that I do not have time to go through all that. Like I said, we're up till midnight every night. I still got to do a video tonight yet, so it'll be probably 10:30 before we get out of here. 11 we get back to the trailer, and I still need to put a video out for tomorrow night.
And he has to download everything we've done today.
Yeah.
So here's some more FYI on staying in the Key Largo. Gilbert's Resort is awesome. A little pricey, but they treat you right very well at the bars. Mike Seymour said, do you think Taylor O'Hare will be beating on the Harleys with his Indian Challenger?
Don't know. I know Indian last year really, I think they took all 4 places. And Harley didn't do very good. So we did talk to the 2 racers. We got autographs. And they were at the, out here the other day at, I don't know what booth. Oh, they were at the Harley booth. And there was those 2 racers.
Yeah.
And I got videos of them. Don't know who they are. I don't really follow. This is like Rusty Wallace. Rusty Wallace was a big race person when Dale Earnhardt and all that. I kind of raced when I sold Mac Tools, which a lot of you may not know I did that. Sold Mac Tools for a while. They were really into racing, NASCAR, and all that kind of stuff. And we kind of got into it during that time. Went to some NASCAR tracks. We had one outside of St. Louis we went to. Went to some NHR drag races over in Indianapolis. I think that's where they were at that time. They had the Jolly Rancher truck go through, and the exhaust smells like Jolly Ranchers. And a little wheelie thing. It looked like a little minivan. Back then they didn't have minivans, but
the little chop van, and then it would do cool wheelie, and it would smell like Jolly Rancher.
It'd be all white going down the straightaway. So we used to go to NHR. I seen Kenny Bernstein. I had pictures with him. A bunch of other racers like that. I might even we actually got to see Kyle Petty, but he was in the tent next to us. So we were in the Mac Tool tent, and he was over there in the Kyle Petty. Kyle was the dad, right?
No, Richard.
Richard Petty. It was Richard Petty. See, I'm bad with names.
So Mike Skidmore said Rusty Wallace and one of his sons are building $90,000 custom bikes, and they're pretty cool.
And they're like, but what I'm hearing from people in the industry is that if you buy a bike from them, you're done. You really don't have to put any money in it, and that bike's going to last you a lifetime. So they're really, what do you say? You look at the touring bike right now, Harley, the 120 is up $53,000. I think he said manufacturer's list prices. Not saying that they still have that surcharge. Some bikes, which somebody brought it to my attention, I forgot about, that Harley has a surcharge, and what they're doing is they're putting, where that came from is some of the parts that they have to buy, they no longer can get from a boat from China, so they have to go to another supplier to buy it. So instead of raising the price up, because they hope someday they'll be able to get those parts again, and they'd be able to go back down to the normal price. So you got some kind of surcharge, probably a couple thousand. So now we're at $55,000. So hey, if I paid, now he did have some over there. I seen one had a price tag of $75,000 on it, $80. That's probably about where you're going to spend. But if you want a bike like that and something that's built so well that I'm done. I just ride it. It'd be worth it.
And I mean, if they all have custom paint jobs, and they have, if you want the big fat wheel on, or not fat wheel, but the big wheel on the
like
front.
21 inch.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're really cool. And yeah, some of our videos should have them in there. Some pictures of them.
And we're supposed to go through a tour as soon as we get a chance. Rusty and his son, both of it. Is it Kyle? Kurt?
Steve.
Steve's his son's name?
Yes.
No, I don't know. I think it was Steve. But I don't remember names. I do remember Rusty's name. So they invited us, and we reminded them the other day when we seen him. They're like, sure, you guys come over. Rusty will give you a full tour. Because we heard Rusty's buying property down here. Well, Rusty has other property in Florida. He just sold one house, and he's buying another one. He's not leaving
North Carolina.
Yeah, he's not leaving. He still has his main house. This is a vacation home down here. So we'd heard rumors that he was moving down here full time, and he's not.
So you guys still are looking good. Thanks. Because I feel
we're really fuzzy. It looks here, but there it doesn't look so bad on the phone. It looks bad watching looking at the phone, looking at us.
Mike says cracked manifold, I guess. Intake leak. Oh, I guess when you were talking about your 2001. Scott Lynn says, was on the road trip last year. My bike started having trouble, so I took it to the dealer on the strip. They said they didn't have time to look at it. Then I took it to Red Rock, and they fixed me up. Red Rock's a good deal.
Which it is. They're all owned by the same place, but those are our hometown dealership. Red Rock. They also have the one in Utah. They got one. They got one or two in Arizona. They got one actually in North Carolina that he owns now. But what our dealers, our
The owner.
owner of our dealerships, what he does, which at first I thought was kind of stupid. I thought it was kind of a weird thing to do. Each dealer independently ran. So it's not like, there's one company out here, not any that we deal with, somebody we don't care for, that they actually, every one of their dealers are exactly the same way. They're same high pressure, same everything, all their sales tax, all exactly the same. And here it is. We bought from Henderson, our bike, and they were actually the ones that actually, when they listened to my bike, said that they believed it was the bearings, but they couldn't guarantee that would fix it. And so when I took it to the other guy out in Kingman, Kelly, that knew speeds, they said, he put it on the dyno, and I went out there and I could hear the bearings grind. We put the stethoscope on it, I'm like, oh yeah, big difference, yeah. And you could hear on the other side, you couldn't hear it. So the bearing on the one side was the one making all the noise, but they replaced all the bearings. So they did get a good time. And I definitely know that Red Rock has, overall, they're one of the leading dealerships in total customer service. See, a lot of dealerships says, oh, we're the biggest. Well, being the biggest, or if you're, actually one of the dealers that we don't recommend, actually has the #1 sales in America for sales on bikes. Not service, not anything else that they do. But they're very high pressure sale, and I don't care for that. We'll help you if you're interested in buying a bike. I can tell you all the things, and maybe we'll do a video on it. But you can use it for anything. When we bought our RV, I did it that way. I bought my truck that way. Most things that I buy, I'm very thrifty on what I buy, and I also make sure I get an excellent price. And it's mainly you got to do your homework. It's like if you're thinking about buying a motorcycle, the first thing you need to do is go down to, which we recommend, is a credit union. Go to your family credit union or anything. You don't have to. Anybody can join most credit unions. Even you can join Navy Credit Union if you've had anybody that's ever been in the service. I wasn't in the service. We decided at the last minute not to go in. But my brother was there. My brother-in-law was there. My grandpa. So we have a lot of people. Yeah, her dad was in the service. So a lot of people. So by.
Oh, there they go. They walked around the other way.
Run, run, run. She went to go get the girls' interview. So you guys have, because they're dressed enough that I can put on our normal video, and maybe we can have them say, "Hey, welcome to American Flat Track Racing tonight." That'd be a good intro for us. So today's video is pretty neat. That was all about women ride that we did today, yesterday. The video today that came out. Some really neat people. Tony from Buffalo Chip, Rod's daughter. She was one of the people that were there. Also, there was I think her name's Karen Clockworks. I think her first name's Karen. You didn't get them?
In the dark, so you probably can't see much.
Space cadets. We used to call them space cadets. Ron's daughter. Oh no. Is it Karen?
Who?
Clockworks. Clock. Who's his ex? Laura Clockworks. Laura Clockworks was supposed to be there. They said she was there, but we never did see her.
Well, I mean, I don't know what she looks like either. I mean, she.
We didn't know. We didn't know what Warren Lane, Billy's brother, didn't know what he looked like either. And finally today we seen him and like, holy crap, there's Billy's brother, Warren.
Ralph, the guy with the little dog that was always in Vegas in Sturgis.
Yeah.
He said it'd even be way cooler if they spelled it politically correct. INJIN. INJIN.
Well, that's like on anything. When I was a little bitty kid, I had to read a verse in the Bible at church, and it was Psalms. So I got up there and I said, palms. And they're like, no, it's Psalms. I said, what the hell's the P doing on it? Phone. Why does it start with PH? Where's the F at? Why do we have all these stupid rules?
In Espanol, they don't have a PH in telephone. It's FONE. So, anyway.
They got it right.
What else? Joe Casey says we need one of those cold ones from Twin Peaks and Myrtle. Yes, we do. Robert says, Tam, did you get your Jello slime off your shirt yesterday? No, I need to probably soak it though, both of ours. Joe Casey said, the people of our parents warned us about yes. Ralph says we should try to get a sponsor from Law Tigers or Russ Guy. Their banners are everywhere.
So we are actually one of the guys we talked to here is really good with Law Tigers. We tried Law Tigers a long time ago. We talked to Ori, which is the president of the company. He loved us. because he works with Adam Sandoval, and he's like, call my marketing guy. Well, that guy ended up blowing us off, and we ended up talking to somebody here and said, yeah, that's not a very good guy to talk to. Let me find somebody, because he says, I know they could do a lot with you guys. And so...
Lord Tigers have hot chicks in their vending area. So
well,
does
some-
Russ Brown.
and Progressive, all of them have pretty good looking girls
Joe
there.
Casey says, keep it clean. Skippy Jones is on. Hey, Skippy, how you doing? Diane Breed says, hello, YouTube. Joe Casey says, did you see Adam Answell today? Not today. We saw him the other day. Blue Ghost says, if you want your videos clean, show women taking showers. There you go. Ralph says, Indians kicking Harley's butt on the track. I don't know. We're not really watching.
Well, no,
This
not
one?
here. There's no
Okay.
Indians, because Indian and Harley don't make dirt bikes. So they're not here. They're talking about the
You
street,
deserve it. Yep.
the beggars.
He never sits still. Bob, what's your favorite muscle car?
I don't know. I always wanted, I like a Barracuda. About a 70 to 74 Barracuda I would like to have. I do like Chevelles. I don't know. I like a lot of, I used to work on cars, so there's a lot of cars I've driven too. I've driven, like 55 T-Birds and stuff like that. I've drove old Corvettes. Those old cars drive like crap. They got no power steering. You're driving down the road, especially if it's all original. You go down the road and it's got so much freaking play in the steering wheel. It's unreal. And so, I don't know. We looked at last year in a town that we're close to. They had it. They sell specialty cars like that. And they had a Chevelle sitting there, about a '68 Chevelle Malibu. I don't think it was an SS, and but two-door. And I think it had a big block in it. Well, I'm like, well, 20 grand, that's not a bad price. Well, I look in the window and it's a freaking automatic. I said, dude, if that was a 4-speed, I would have bought it right now. And they're like, well, we can't sell 4-speeds because nobody knows how to drive them. Well, I ain't buying an automatic. What's the fun of having a fast car if it's a freaking automatic? So I almost had when I was a kid, my dad wouldn't let me buy it. It was a 74, I was only 16 years old. That's the guy where he worked, it was a great deal. It was a 74 Stingray Corvette with a 427 with a 4-speed in it. And this guy only wanted like $4,600. My dad said, you'll kill yourself in the car. I ain't gonna help you get the car. But I had like $500 that I'd saved up. But he wouldn't buy it to me. I probably would be dead, because there'd have been a lot of cars.
Then there would have been no Bob and Tim.
That's right. No grandkids, no daughters.
Nope.
No Charlie dog.
Nope. Ralph says Harley is a crappy company. They tried to patent their motor and sound through the independent dealers under the bus. Las Vegas Harley on the Strip is awesome service. Kevin Ryder is usually not covered stuff I didn't even know was busted. Rod says, I love the Indian bikes and they need competition, but a buddy with one went to the dealer for 2 new tires and 1 wheel bearing. It cost him over $1,100. No typo. Yes, be careful. Robert Armstrong says, hello again from Northern Ontario. Hi. Joe Casey says, you guys are troopers. And Ralph says, the 302 and a Boss 429 Mustangs are awesome.
We used to have I worked on a guy that used to have a Shelby that had, I think it was a 390 in it. But you had to lift the freaking motor out of the car to change the freaking spark plugs on the one side because it was so close to the side of the car. And it's like when I used to work on Corvettes. You almost had, if you wanted to change the water pump or anything, you had to take the whole freaking radiator out of the car. What a pain in the ass that was. So the older cars, anything pretty much older, anything from about, about 85 and back, I pretty much know everything I need to know about them. I couldn't answer any tech questions without looking them up, but the newer cars, I don't know a whole lot. We got a Ford Expedition, and I had no idea that the freaking plugs were only in there by 3 threads until one blew out. Well, and then they're like this far down. I was going to buy new plug wires for it. Well, each one's got a freaking coil on it. What moron come up with that idea?
Well, that's what we kept saying. I don't know why I can't find the spark plug wires for this car. I can't find spark plug wires. I keep telling me I need a coil. I don't want a coil. I want a spark plug wire. Well, then he found out it don't have spark plug wire. It just got coils.
It's a coil wire that goes to a coil that goes to the plug.
Chris McKay is on. He says, hi, late, but I had a writers meeting. There you go.
Well, we can't be on too much longer because it's 9:15 now.
Oh, yeah, so we got to go.
So we got to go because we're going to get a chance to go inside the track. So we'll leave you here, and we'll see all you guys later, and see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.